Hi and welcome to the 8th of April 2013's post-WrestleMania Raw review. There's not much I can say about tonight's show apart from that the crowd was amazing. The show started with John Cena coming down to the ring to cut a promo, and it was an okay promo, to be honest. He hit some good points and even got the heel turn joke in there, just to let people know that he will be staying babyface, and obviously there was some hints of a heel turn, but it looked like that was just to try and help sell WrestleMania. So he said he wants to defend the title on Raw tonight, and then out comes Mark Henry. So we think we're going to see a Cena versus Mark Henry match for the WWE title on tonight's Raw. But then Booker T comes out and says that The Rock is actually the number one contender, and he then lets the crowd know that The Rock is not going to be there because of the injury he sustained during the match. To this, the crowd chanted bullshit. But what Booker T then does is says that if Mark Henry can beat John Cena tonight, then he will earn his way to getting a title shot. Then we have Daniel Bryan versus Big E Langston. This was an okay match. During this match, the crowd chanted for Ziggler. They wanted to see Ziggler wrestle. Probably Daniel Bryan, because obviously this would have been a better match. Or even Kane versus Big E Langston, but I think they were just trying to show how dominant Big E Langston was by putting him against Daniel Bryan. Then we had the WrestleMania repeat match of The Miz versus Wade Barrett for the Intercontinental title. In this match, we've seen The Miz lose the belt after only having it for one day. And when The Miz won the belt at WrestleMania, I thought this was setting up for Wade Barrett to then go on to win Money in the Bank. So the fact that he's won it back is just making me question, did they do it just so The Miz is still undefeated at WrestleMania, which I doubt, or did they do it because they've changed their mind about Wade Barrett having Money in the Bank, or that he's going to win Money in the Bank and he's going to hold it for quite a long time like Dolph Ziggler did, so there's no need for him to lose that title yet. Then we had the Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio match, another WrestleMania rematch, but this time the title wasn't on the line. And the crowd seemed quite sort of bored during this match. They've not really done much in this feud, and the whole angle with these two hasn't been entertaining at all. So I was really glad when the match was over. Alberto's ankle was injured from the Patriot lock, or ankle lock, and then Dolph Ziggler's music hit. The crowd went crazy for this, especially once the referee had actually been handed the case and the bell had rang. This is one of the things that made this a good Raw. I'd have loved to have seen this moment at WrestleMania, because that was what everyone was waiting for during the Jack Swagger Del Rio match anyway. But to get it the next night on Raw is still good, and it sets up that Ziggler's now going to get a push going forward into this year. Then the next match, which was the match of the night in my opinion, was the Randy Orton versus Sheamus match, and I have no idea how they managed to keep the face straight during this match. The crowd were just chanting anything. They were chanting for JBL, they were chanting for Lawler, even a Michael Cole chant started at one point. How Orton and Sheamus managed to stay in character during this match, I really don't know. You did see a few sort of smiles from Sheamus, and I did think Orton did a better job, but it was just crazy, and it was actually a really good match, but the crowd was just having their own good time on top of it, and it was just really good to watch. Then we managed to see the Bella Twins, Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow versus Brodus Clay, Tenzai and Cameron and Naomi. It was good that they put this match on Raw. It was I did feel a bit bad for him on WrestleMania that the match got pulled after them already tweeting out backstage, all huddling ready for the match, and then it didn't end up happening. So it was good that they got to still have that match, and it was still quite a lot of the WrestleMania fans that were obviously in attendance, which is why the crowd was so crazy. So I'm glad they did get to go out and actually perform that. It's just a shame it wasn't at WrestleMania. One of the parts of the show that I really liked was the Undertaker segment, where the Shield interrupted and actually came down to the ring and looked like they were all going to attack Undertaker. And then Kane's pyro hit, and it just seemed a lot louder than usual, and Kane and Daniel Bryan come to save Undertaker. So I'm interested to see what that's setting up, well, whether that's going to lead to anything. Hopefully it will. We also heard from Paul Heyman, who was trying to recover Brock Lesnar's loss at WrestleMania by saying he's ready to fight tonight, whereas Triple H is injured. And I did think he did a good job of this. And I also think it's good the way he's promoting him, because obviously Brock Lesnar's got limited dates on his contract. And Paul Heyman's just putting it down to Brock Lesnar doesn't fight for free, which is why you don't see him every week. And I just think that's the best way to say it, rather than having him keep resigning after every match or just disappearing without any reason. Just say he's a big star and he's a heel, and it fits into his character that he wouldn't appear unless he's getting paid for it. So I did like that. And then we come to the end of the show, which is Mark Henry versus John Cena. John Cena wins this match via countout, and then we see Ryback come to the ring looking like he's there to help Cena. But then when Cena's back turns, Ryback attacks him, hits him with the shell shock, and holds up the WWE title. So it looks like it's definitely going to be Ryback versus John Cena in the main event of Extreme Rules. There was no CM Punk on this show, but it is known that he's meant to be taking some time off after WrestleMania to recover. They did say he'd be on next week, but I'm not sure if he'll be wrestling or just letting the fans know that he won't be around for a while. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please don't forget to hit subscribe for next week's Raw review. And until next time, thanks for watching.